Mike McSee, our last show of the season.
Woo!
I mean, really, look, I got my Christmas colors on
There
today.
you go. We both kind of got the red and black going on.
So, can't believe it.
Yeah.
Had
it flew by. Good season. Good season.
Uninterrupted weather.
Yes, which was
Number
nice.
one, which was good to have.
Right.
Not really cold.
No, not horrible. Last weekend a little bit.
As a matter of fact, for Sunday, it's supposed to be 50 and sunny.
Nice.
Great conditions.
I can't wait.
We'll be out there. So let's get into it.
Yes.
One sheet.
One sheet.
And it's not even, look how much is written on it.
Yeah.
It's not a lot written on it.
Nothing on there.
So let's go with the semifinal games. And
right.
Of course, as most people know, the 6-on-6 championship game was played last Sunday. We'll get into that
right.
last.
Yep.
But in the full contact, Express 20, Wolf Nose 14, and I got to give you some kudos on that because you said the Wolf Nose would keep this game close. I had said the Express would probably win this game running away. That didn't happen.
No. Wolf Nose has a great defense. Great defense. And again, it came down to their offense. I really don't think that team is built to come from behind right now. Express is playing great with their new acquisitions on the offensive line, and here we go. We're right in. They made it to the finals now. This is their first full contact finals for them.
And through the board, which sometimes gives us reliable information.
Sometimes.
Wolf Nose has declared they will be back in the spring.
Excellent.
And I got to believe that they're coming back with a couple of more pieces.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They're really, a couple pieces on offense, new quarterback, something like that. They're right there because that defense, I would not change a thing on that defense. That defense is perfect right now.
And one thing before we move on about the 8-on-8. Everybody's worry was, how competitive was it going to be?
Very competitive.
You had like the former A-League teams in there and everything. But I'll tell you, we had, I don't think, except for maybe one or two teams, every team in the league or in that division had their moment this year.
Yeah.
Everybody had that moment where we're getting away from somebody on the other side of the glass. But every team had a chance, had a moment.
They did.
To make a statement.
Yeah.
Some of them did. I mean, the Bulldogs. Look how close the Bulldogs were.
Yeah.
To a final.
They were very, very close. Yeah. Yeah, even getting high seed, they were close.
It was. All right, and let's move on now to the second semifinal game, and we were both right on this game.
Yeah.
Kings 20, Warriors 2. Now, to the Warriors' defense credit, they gave up only 20 points.
Yeah, that is true.
But their offense was just not there.
Yeah, it was non-existent. I mean, it was a windy day that day, so that may have something played into it a little bit. That also, I think, played into when we had the 6-on-6 game before that out there, Watsessing, whatever it is. The wind really played a big factor, and, people were only scoring on the one direction on the field. Wind played a big part of this, but, Canes just did what they did. They come out.
We said earlier in the year, the Canes really just do enough to win.
Right.
They're not trying to score 40 points. We had enough points to win. Turn it over to the defense.
That's it. That is it.
And that's what they did. So Jay, in his first year as you can't call him a backup for Wally because Wally's not there.
No.
In Jay's first replacement season. Takes the team to a championship game.
There you go.
So, and I don't think Jay had ever gone this far.
I don't think so,
with any of the other teams that he quarterbacked for.
Yeah.
So, Jay, here's your moment to shine,
chance, yeah.
Man. Usually quarterbacks win MVPs in these games.
Sometimes.
But that brings us now to a final that we said 3 or 4 weeks ago had an excellent chance to happen.
Yes, a very excellent chance.
Especially after the All-Stars got knocked off.
Yeah, that was, that kind of through. But we were still talking. It was going to be definitely one of those top 3 teams. You had Express number 1, All-Stars number 1, whatever, and the Canes number 3. So you had those 3 top teams. All-Stars got knocked out. Surprisingly, a 6-7 game right there. Big defensive battle in that game, but the Canes and Express took care of what they needed to do. And here we go.
That's exactly the way to say it. They took care of what they had to do.
Exactly. And this is going to be, we've talked about it, this is going to be a physical game. Yeah, I don't think you want the kids coming to this game. I think it's going to be an NC-17 rating because of language and violence.
Language I think we'll be cool with.
Yeah.
Because we're in the middle of friggin' nowhere at Hackensack.
Yeah.
The next live person is 3 miles away.
Yeah, right.
From the field. But let's talk about this final before we take our first commercial break.
Right.
So we've got Express and the Canes. So I'm going to give you choice of the team you want to talk about, and I'll talk about the other team. So I'm going to give you choice.
All right.
Who are you going to take?
I'll talk about the Canes. I mean,
Right.
obviously, you know.
So obviously that means that you're probably going to pick the Canes, but I'm not saying I'm not. I'm just going to give you your chance with the Canes.
I think the Canes, though, we've said it for how many seasons now? This is just a complete team. This is a team that plays as a team. You know, it's not one superstar to stand out. It's not. They have their defense set. They've worked this new quarterback in, who's not a rookie, as we've talked about. He's been around this league before, so he's not a rookie. He still has all his receivers. He has his tight ends. That offensive line is still there. So they haven't lost any parts, just the quarterback, and they were able to plug somebody else in. Quick little short passes, and relying on that defense. I think, you know, the Canes, this is going to be a tough matchup for the Express. Not that, you know, the Express, it's going to be tough for both teams, I think. I think this is a great matchup-wise, these two teams. But I see the Canes, you know, just being the Canes. Sticking to their game plan, regardless if they're down at half or not. They're going to rely on their defense. They're going to rely on their short running game, their short passing game, and then hit, you know, Rashid over the top for a long pass. So,
you know what? Something else about the Canes. I'm just going to throw this in. This team reboots itself very quietly.
yes.
They maybe plug in one guy. Maybe
Sometimes that's
two.
all it is.
I mean, we have not mentioned, and I'm only going to mention your name because I like it. We have not mentioned guys like Plesh
No.
in any of the Cane games.
Right.
But he's on the field.
And he's
still
making plays, and he's still making plays.
So, I mean, if he's making plays, and we can't talk about him because, not because you didn't play well, but because, you know, there was no real standout on
Right.
the Canes all season.
But that's why I say this team is a team. They're full of role players. They know their role. Hey, this is what you are. You're my cornerback. You're my whatever you are. This is what you're going to do. Play. Just do your job. Everyone else does their job. We're going to be fine. And that's how the Canes work.
And you know what? They don't care who makes the play
No.
on their team.
No.
Doesn't matter one bit. It could be anybody.
This is a team.
This is a team. And I'm wondering now, is Earl Biddy going to be ready for this game? He had that hint.
Of course he
So
is.
he was going to play with a broken hand,
Yeah.
broken head.
Oh, yeah.
He would be on there with a broken head. Okay, so let's move on to the Express.
Let's hear
We'll
it.
take
Let's
the
hear it.
Express. Where the Canes don't care about who makes the play, the Express has got some guys on it that are constantly trying to make the play.
Right.
And a lot of the times they do.
Yes. Yeah. Oh
A
yeah.
lot of the times they do. Guys like Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
You've got Come On Son.
Yeah.
Magic Man.
Right.
You've got some wide receivers there that can get downfield and catch the ball.
Oh, definitely.
So the Express have the individual that can change a game.
Yes.
See, that's where I think the Express, I don't want to say get a slight edge,
Mm-hmm.
but might have it at least even
Yeah.
with the Canes. At least even.
I agree.
Because they got guys that can make plays, a lot of guys that can make plays. But
Right.
they care about who makes the play.
They do.
Because when the Magic Man gets the ball, Come On Son gets the ball, they want to make you look bad.
That's right. Yeah.
They
do.
want to make you look bad.
And they usually do. And they usually do.
And they let you know about it.
Oh yeah.
They let you know about it.
Oh.
Hollywood, never at a loss for words.
Never lost words.
And
Nope.
he will be in there flamboyant as ever, especially in the championship game.
Oh yeah.
So you got to hope now that kind of, I don't want to call it ego, but that kind of flamboyance
Right.
doesn't take away from what your objective is.
No, not at all.
Your objective is to win the game, not pull a flag and hold it up in front of the guy's face that
Yeah.
you pulled it from. And that, but that's the Express.
Right. That is.
That's what they do.
And they've been like that forever.
Forever. But you know what? They win.
They do win. You gotta give it to them.
Yeah, they live by that old axiom. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's right.
You know, but in this game, I think it's going to be the stoutness of the Canes defense
Yes.
versus the flamboyant offense of the Express. And they are flamboyant. I mean, these guys pitch the ball lateral.
Oh, yeah.
Do all kinds of crazy things. Fish hook or whatever they call that
Yeah.
play, hook and ladder, something
lateral.
like that. But they'll do all that stuff.
Right.
And that's part of their regular offense.
It is.
That's not an emergency situation where we need a touchdown in
Right.
the next 10 seconds.
Right.
They do that anyway. So, to me, the outcome of this game is going to be the Canes' steadiness on defense versus the Express's ability to create some weird offensive plays.
And they can do it, you know. I mean, Hollywood back there is quarterback. He figures if everybody's covered, he's open, and he's not going to be afraid to run.
And we're gonna
so
make
that's
our-
a huge thing because their Express's offensive line huge upgrade, obviously.
Obviously, yeah.
They took their lumps a little bit when they first came up into the A or the 9 or whatever we want to call it. They came up. They had the guts. That's right, I said it. They had the guts to actually move up to the higher division, and they came out good. But they took their lumps the last few seasons, right? They've been down on the bottom, but here they are. They got a few new pieces. That offensive line. We see how important
the acquisitions.
The acquisitions, not the mergers. We see how important these offensive and defensive lines are, and the Express.
Hey, listen,
they've always had a good offense.
Rizzo's one of the best linemen in the league.
Right? They've always had a good offense, always been able to put up points, but now they have that line to protect. So Hollywood doesn't have to run all the time. Now he's not fearing for his life, looking for the quick pass. This is going to be a fantastic game, and this is going to be a close game, a tough game to call.
We're going to give our picks when we get back.
Here at Anthony Franco's, we take our food preparation very seriously. With the freshest ingredients delivered daily from the markets at Hunts Point and the finest pasta from one of Brooklyn's oldest pasta houses, we have a large variety of specialty pizzas, pastas, and sandwiches, along with a cozy dining area for your special events. With 2 great locations, 556 Route 17 North, Paramus, and 128 East Main Street, Ramsey. Call 201-447-3999 in Paramus and 201-238-8000 in Ramsey. Give us a call. We'd love to hear from you. And as always, free delivery.
Okay, so we've had, 30 seconds extra to think about
Yeah,
this?
a little bit.
So I'm going to yield. This is the last show, so I'm going to yield to my right and let Mikey McSee make his pick. The good thing about this, Mike, is if you're wrong, we're not on next week.
Yeah, right?
So no, but I'm
I
still
got.
hear it on the
But you
board.
know what? The thing with these, whoever we pick and we're wrong, both these teams will let us know.
Oh,
that
I'm
we were
sure.
wrong.
I'm sure.
I've picked against the Canes before in finals, and they've found me in the stands and screamed at me. All in good fun though. But this game,
All right,
how we were just talking about it, this is a great matchup game. Both teams, both lines, everything, this is going to come down to, this could be Brad kicking the winning field goal.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
That's how close I think this is going to come down to. And I believe it may be, I think it's going to be like a 23-20 Canes victory. Maybe even into one overtime. That's how close I think this game is going to be.
That's right. There are field goals in this.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. Now I'm going to give you my synopsis or feedback, and I'm going to tell you who I'm picking because of that feedback.
All right.
There's an old axiom that goes, defense wins championships.
Yes.
I have never disagreed more than I do with that statement because defense helps you win championships.
True.
But in the end, when you look at the scoreboard, what has to be up there?
That's right.
Points.
Scores. That's
Points.
right.
Points. At this point of the season, I believe the Express defense is good enough to run stable with the Canes.
Agreed.
And
Agreed.
I believe the difference in this game, and as well as Jay has played, I don't think he's going to face pressure like Express going to put on him.
No.
I don't think he has. Now, if he can beat it, good for him.
Yes.
Good for the Canes.
Yeah,
But
very good for the Canes.
I know the Express are going to score points in this game.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
They're going to score points. Now, if the Canes hold them on a defensive stop, that means the game. Okay, the defense helped them win the championship, but they still had to have enough points
You're right.
to be in the game. So I am going to pick the Express
All right.
basically on the fact that I think offensively they might be able to put up more points than the Canes because of their offensive diversification.
I hear you. I hear you.
And that's the only reason why. Otherwise, this is less than a field goal game to me.
It really is. I mean,
less than a field goal game.
this I feel is a flip. Flip the coin. Who do you think? Because everything you say about either team, I think, can apply
Well,
to
same thing
either
with
one.
you.
You know?
Everything you said about the Canes is
Exactly.
true.
So this is going to be Guys, come down and watch this game. If you want to see a
man,
nice,
this will be a
hard-hitting,
good game.
good physical game, hopefully it doesn't get out of control.
And the weather is supposed to be
And
spectacular.
the weather's going to be great.
Sunny in the
Come on down.
low 50s, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be great.
Come on up to the booth. We have that announcer back this year, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he does a great booth call.
He does.
But anyway, so that's our pick. My pick is Express. Mike is the Canes. Give me a score, just for the heck.
I say I'm thinking like 23-20.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking a field goal is going to win this.
I'm thinking it's going to be a little higher than that. I'm going to go 27-23.
Ooh, all right.
Express. I think there's going to be more offense. And the more offense there is in this game, it makes me like the Express even more. So, anyway, we're done with that. Let's move on. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Semifinal in touch. The Bulldogs over the Militia in a really close game.
Yeah, very close game.
Old man Jimmy gave it his best shot, right?
He did. He did.
He only came up 6 points late.
That's it, man. 1 touchdown, 1 score.
And in the other semifinal game, the Lazarus effect continues.
Oh, yes, it does.
The Banana Slugs, 27. And the A-Team, 26. Now, look, I don't want to be a nudge here. But what have I said about the A-Team in the playoffs?
I know.
I mean, I've said it. They had a bye. They didn't have to play a first-round game. They didn't even, and if they had to play a first-round game, they would have met the Slugs anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
Right?
True, yeah.
So, because the Slugs were the low seeds.
Right.
But the Slugs pull it out, 27,
Slugs pull it out,
26.
yeah.
And once again, all kinds of stuff. Who's this guy? Who's that guy? You know, and like we said before, you have sign-in sheets and you submit rosters. The thing about the sign-in sheets, guys, is you don't have to play.
Yeah.
If you're at the field, you can sign the sign-in sheet. And your name can be put on the roster anytime within the first 4 weeks.
There you go.
So I'm sure that if there was any skullduggery involved, it would have been uncovered by now. You like that word?
True, yeah, I do.
So, and again, I said this before too. I would pick the Slugs to be the last team. You've got the president of the league that plays on that team. You've got the commissioner who didn't play a game this year
Right.
on that team. Do you think they would be the team that would try and cheat?
No.
I ref their games. I don't care who's on their team.
Yeah.
They're another team when they're on the field.
Right.
So I don't think the refs go out of their way to favor them. We've said before that you've got some questionable refs in this league. And, you know, if they genuinely make a mistake and it just happens to be the Slugs on a team, I mean, that's it.
Right.
That's it.
Hey.
But I don't think there's any conspiracy theory or anything here regarding
Tinfoil hats going on.
Yeah.
But, you know, sometimes when teams lose, they look for another excuse because it can't be their play. But A-Team had a great season.
Believe it or not, the A-Teams were the only ones that didn't complain.
Of course. Yeah, yeah. Hey, you know.
I mean, Pete he said, hey, look, you guys showed up.
You guys showed up.
Beat us, and that's it. And it was a 1 point game. That was
1 point game.
Extra points.
Came down. You know, A-Team came back. They were down most of this game. They came back, and lost it on an extra point at the end of the game. You know. So they fought their way back. They did. They came back and got themselves back in this game, set themselves up to win. You know, Slugs just what happened to they hung on. And like I said, it was one of the last plays, if not the last play. It was for extra point.
Well, at any rate, it sets up a Bulldog Slug final, and we all know how Hondo feels about the Slugs.
Yes, we've seen this final before.
We've seen it before, and we've heard stuff about from the Slugs, especially in the game. If you remember that game at Watsessing.
Watsessing, yes.
When we were able, because we had a camera at that game.
There we go.
To justify the referee's call.
Yeah.
Well, no,
I still don't believe that call.
Well, anyhow.
But that's old stuff. I got to bring up old stuff. Exactly.
Well,
I know.
I'm going back in history between these two teams.
I hear you. I know.
So now I know the Bulldogs played the Slugs at the beginning of the year.
Yes.
And did beat them.
Yes.
Now, for me to say this is a different Slugs team is a bit of an understatement. Because the sick guys got healthy.
Yep.
And they seem to be firing now on all cylinders.
Yes, they do.
But it's still Hondo.
And this is you know what? This is a good rivalry into our championship. Like we said, these two teams have met a lot in the playoffs, met a lot in the finals. So no, blood loss here. There's no love loss, I should say. I'm sorry. between these teams. So this is going to be a good game.
Well,
I like the nice physical touch games, and this should be another physical
But you know,
touch game.
the slugs to me should be called Team Serenity. I never see them really get mad. They might yap at the ref once in a while.
A little bit.
But everybody does.
Yeah.
And
It's always the ref's
a lot of the time it's me.
Of course it is.
But, they're usually pretty low level, even keel.
Yeah, usually.
The Bulldogs are not that.
No.
The Bulldog, Hondo will get in your face
Yeah.
if he thinks you made a mistake.
Yeah,
or,
slugs would get on it. Luigi used to get on the
Well, but you
refs,
know what?
especially Luigi was really the only mouthpiece. No offense, buddy, but
Luigi,
but
you feel sorry for the guy.
Nah.
He's so banged up,
That's
You
all right.
Have pity.
Yeah.
Pulled every muscle in his body. Remember that. But anyhow, in this final, you want me to go first?
You go first this time.
Okay, I think the fairy tale ride ends for the Slugs. I think the Bulldogs are going to come out with blood in their eyes. I think they're faster than the Slugs.
Mm-hmm.
I think the ability of Hondo's running
It's going to cause some problems.
It's going to be a factor in this game.
Yep.
I don't see the Slugs quarterback as Speedy Gonzalez or the Roadrunner.
No.
I think that might be the difference. I'm going Slugs here.
You going slugs?
I'm going Bulldogs here. I'm going Bulldogs 27-14.
Ooh. Well, I've been, I like my slugs there in the touch division. I tried to stick with them most of the year, but I got to go with everything you just said. I really agree with you. I think the Bulldogs are out to prove a point. They're out for blood. Just to get this, and just put this to bed, this whole banana slugs, whatever roster thing. I think the Bulldogs are going to come out there and just going to tear it up. I think they have a few years of aggression pent up, and they're ready to just unleash it on the slug team. And I think it's going to be a closer game. I don't think it'll be a 2-touchdown game. Could be, I'm thinking a 6-pointer.
So you and I agree that Joey B will be interviewing Hondo at the end of this game.
Yes,
so,
we
Hondo, look at the dictionary the night before the game. Think of some good words.
Ooh,
and we'll
I'm sure
go
he's thinking
from
of some
there.
good words right now.
Yeah, really. And when we come back, we will take a look at the 6-on-6, whose final was this past Sunday.
Yes, it was.
By the way, great job on getting that game up the same day.
Boom.
Very good job. But we'll talk about the semifinals and then
Jump into
the final
right.
itself and what we saw that day and what you guys saw
Yeah.
on film. So we'll be right back.
How you doing, people? Welcome to Raymond's Tires. My name is John. Just want to let you guys know we're open 7 days a week. We've been in business for over 15 years. Our hours are from 8 to 7 every day. The only day we close is Christmas Day. Flat fixes start at $10, balancing $10, used tires $25 and up. New tires, if you purchase all 4, you get everything included, mounted, balance, wheel alignment, everything. Customer service is our #1 priority. If you come to our place and you don't have what it takes to get done, we will give you the service at no charge, because customer service, again, is our #1 priority. Thank you for stopping by.
All right, so as we know, the final was held last Sunday.
Right.
Due to some traveling conflicts with the Cobras. Great, very good of Gracious for the Orange Lantern to say, we want to play,
Right.
we don't want the championship that way.
Right.
I'm sure JT didn't want to forfeit.
Yes,
in a
that would have
championship
been.
game. That would have been ugly. But let's take a quick look back at the semifinals, because you and Michael Bennett, and we want to say hello to Michael. We're
Hey, buddy.
taping a little early today
Yep.
because this game was played on this last Sunday.
Right.
There really isn't too much to talk about. But I picked the All-Stars out of desperation. You guys picked the Cobras because you thought they could win.
Right.
And that won out over desperation, I guess. But again,
Yes, it did.
A 1-point game.
1-point game, which this was a great game. This was a back and forth game. 2 really good offenses just going back and forth, Came down to, as we see, another missed
Extra point.
Extra point,
Somewhere along the way.
somewhere along the line. Yeah, but this was a great matchup. Again, I think the Cobras are here to stay, and they're starting to cement themselves as one of the top teams perennially in the 6-on-6.
Oh, yeah,
as a
they're
new
gonna
team.
be around.
Especially as a new team jumping in. I mean, 2 years in a row they're in the finals. Granted, 2 years in a row they lost it, but they're still getting to that finals.
Yes, they are.
You know?
And they're competitive in every game.
Yep.
And when
They're very
when
competitive.
you can be competitive in every
And that
game, you
team
got a chance to
score,
win
yes.
every game.
And that team, as we've seen the last couple games with them, they can score quickly. They only need one play to score.
They can line it
You know,
up. Yep.
Adam can chuck that ball 60 yards in the air, and drop it on his guy in motion, in stride. So that's what went down on that.
That's what
one.
happened on that
Yeah.
one. And the other game, boy, I'll tell you what. I know I picked the Orange Lantern. in
Yes,
this
you
game,
did.
And
Yes,
you
you
and
did.
Michael picked the Blazers.
Yes, we did.
But I had no idea that their defense was going to be able to hold the Blazers to 6 points.
Yeah, this was again at Watsasing Park, and this was a complete wind. That's all the factor was in this, because all the scores were on one
side
side,
of the field.
one end zone. You know, Blazers had the ball in the first half, were only able to put up one. You know, you saw when they were trying to drive, both teams in first and second half, when they were trying to drive against that wind, nobody completed anything. You know, maybe a pass here and there, but nobody even sniffed the other end zone. You know, maybe they would get over the 50, and that's it.
It was
maybe
played in the middle of the field.
Yeah,
30 to
we were
30.
played right there, and it was a windy day, and it really had an effect on this game.
But still, the
I'm not
Blazers-
taking any. Yeah, I'm not
No,
taking
the
anything
Blazers
away
had-
from the
Blazers
Lantern.
had the win in one of the two.
Right, they had in the first. They got their touchdown, but
So
I'm not taking
with
it.
with the win, the Lantern held them 6 points.
Yep.
Now the Lantern they're not known for their offense. They're a lot like the Canes in as much as they score enough to win.
Right. Right.
We scored enough to win, and that's good.
They
Because
have a-
they only put up 13.
Yeah. This was surprisingly. I know it's weird when we talk defense in 6-on-6, but this was, even though the win was there, both teams going in the one way, only 3 touchdowns were scored. You know, so this.
If you're the Blazers, you tell me before the game, without knowing anything, that the Blazers are going to give up only 13 points. Then I would have had to have said, you know what?
Be like,
they're
oh,
probably gonna
Blazers
win.
all day, right? Yeah.
Blazers gonna win.
But this was, they had to resort more to, Orange Lantern adjusted to more of that short passing to deal with the wind. Blazers kept trying to keep chucking it downfield, and that ball just died. I think at the end of the game, Robbie Lane had 3 interceptions just trying to bomb it out, to Barry, and it just, it would die. It would die. He would have him in stride. He was open, but ball hangs up there too much. Guess what? Interception. And that's what happened towards the end of that game. And you saw the frustration starting to seep in towards the end of that game. And I think that had a little bit to do with it for that last late touchdown for the Lantern to take the lead. And that's what happened, man.
Well, I'll tell you, again, a very solid season from both of these teams.
Yes.
And as we said,
As usual.
the final, this is the most competitive division this
It
week.
really is. It really is.
You had what? You had 5 teams.
Yeah.
4 teams with 6 wins or better.
Yeah.
I mean, that's in a team that had what, 8 teams in it?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, it was great. I mean, you throw deja vu in there, you have 5 competitive teams, which next season going in, I figure Orange Lantern will probably come back. Some of those players will now be the Bruins again in the spring. That seems kind of what's going on with them. But those 5 teams come back, you have 5 legit teams that can win. I wouldn't be like, oh, really? Deja vu won it? Oh, really? Who? Of course they did. Because that's how it felt.
And that brought us to last Sunday's final, which you've probably all seen the tape for,
Yep.
where the Orange Lantern prevailed 33-18.
Yeah.
Now, you've seen the game on film. If you haven't, you should really watch it.
Very good game.
Again, not to take anything away from the Lantern, but I think one of the Cobra's biggest weapons not being there was definitely a factor.
Yes, a little bit.
Their big, huge receiver, Harold
Right.
Carmichael guy.
Right. This also came down to you had Sharif run, 2 touchdowns.
Sharif had over 100 yards rushing.
Yeah, I mean, if he wasn't named MVP, I don't know what an MVP is then. Because this guy he scored every touchdown. He scored every touchdown for them. Either he threw it or he ran. I think he ran for 3 touchdowns.
I know of 2 at least.
At least 2. So you saw that the coverage was obviously good. Cobras were doing their job, covering, locking down those receivers.
Yeah, nobody to throw to.
But
he
you
broke
get
the line of scrimmage.
and that guy is fast.
And I'll tell you something else too. His runs are up the sideline.
They were.
So what
he did a lot of dodging in and out.
You figure the sideline is going to help the defensive team. You know, didn't help.
Yeah, he had one. He's jumping over players. There was even one. I think that last one, it kind of looked like he was giving himself up right by the 50, and nobody punted to pull it. So he was like, you know what?
So I'm gonna keep
There's a
going.
little aisle right down the sideline. I'm going to score one more
I'm gonna
touchdown.
keep going.
And that's how that game ended. But He was a madman.
But even-
great arm and fast. That's tough to stop, especially in the 6-on-6.
Even at 33-18, this game was 14-12.
Right.
Just before the half.
Right. This was a tight game, yeah.
And the Cobras were going for 2 to tie the game at the half. Basically didn't get it.
Right.
So it was only 14-12 going into the second half.
That was it. And they scored, and they were again. Cobras were down 14-6 at the time, I believe, or 14-7. Boom, they got it right back.
14-6,
right?
and then they scored again.
The quick
14-12,
bomb,
and they missed 2.
and they get back into it. I mean, maybe they rely on that play a little too much. It seems to work a lot, but
Well, Adam was under a lot of pressure.
he was. Yes.
So they were able to get pressure on him. They'd rush 3, they'd rush 2.
Yes.
They dropped somebody in coverage, and that's the guy that Adam wanted to go to.
Yep.
So he had to look somewhere else to throw. So the Lantern, they gave up 18 points, but they played a very good defensive game again.
They did. Yes, they did.
And I have to say that
very active
now at the
defense.
close of the season, they were the best defensive team in that division.
Yeah, you got to. The more you look at it, the eye test would say it. Maybe not statistically. We don't have those in front of us. But if you watch it, yeah, this is an active team, and like we were talking about the Canes earlier on, these guys. How we don't talk about pressure. We don't talk about certain guys on the Lantern,
Right,
but they're
exactly,
doing their job.
exactly.
They're out there. Ryan's out there. Mike's out there. They're making their plays.
This kid Mello's out there.
Yeah, Mello's
Mello
exactly.
made a couple of big plays.
Yeah, where did this guy come from all of a sudden?
I mentioned him once before as an X factor, and he was an X factor.
And he's been in a couple of the games that I've seen with the Lantern. You hear everybody, way to go, Mello. Mello's out there. He's doing it. He's a big part of that team now too, a part of that offense and defense. But this is another team. This isn't. I'm going to be the superstar. It's you do your role, I'll do my role. If we both do our jobs, we're going to win. And that's.
And I'll tell you what, Ryan usually ends up being the only rusher. He was able to get pressure as a single rusher.
Yeah. It was.
So he had a really great game.
It was great. Offensive line, Mike out there. Great offense. Sharif didn't have to run that much, but when he saw the lane, why not take it? So congratulations to the Orange Lantern. They finally got their first, right? I believe their first
clean chip.
Well, 6-on-6, obviously. Yeah. There's only, 3 teams that have ever won a 6-on-6 championship.
Yes, and most of them were named All-Stars.
Yes.
But as we said at the beginning, this is our last broadcast of the season. So I want to thank the guys. I mean, a couple of seasons ago, we had 14,000 hits between the games and the show. We didn't get near 14,000 this year, but we were above 10.
We came pretty close. I think we got a lot. We'll check it out again.
I'd like to see that. But
we had a very good, and it's all because of you guys. Thank you so much.
We hear about this show, and a lot of people have called this just like a Mickey Mouse thing. But in a league this size, to get near 14,000 hits on our games, and this is our international viewers too. I know you guys don't believe it.
You don't believe it?
But we've got people around the world tuning into our games.
It's true.
And tuning into this show because Mike, as I said, can track all this stuff. Thanks to the world of Big Brother,
That's right.
So we thank you for that. We thank our sponsors who really...
Definitely.
Without them, there'd be no show.
They keep this going,
I like doing this, but I wouldn't do it for free.
Oh, no.
Our camera guys in the field.
Yeah, Mike and Tom, great job this year.
Great. Mike McSee here in the studio handling all the postings and getting the games up. I mean, he had the Orange Lantern game up 3 hours after it ended.
Yeah, it's nice when I have nothing to do.
So, yeah. But, I mean, he does a great job in here. You only see him in front of the camera weekly. But believe me, when he's off the camera, he's doing a lot of things here in the studio that make this show possible.
Yep.
To the players of the ACFL.
Definitely.
Shout out to you guys who go out there and leave it on the field. And these guys do leave it on the field.
Giving us
every week.
A great entertainment package. There's games that I really get excited about seeing. Even not just playoff games. Not even just playoff games. Regular season.
How many times during the season did we say, we got to watch this?
Yeah, can't wait for this game. We got to try and get somebody to that game. So you guys are doing a great job. You make our jobs easier here doing this.
JT, who takes a lot of flack. He takes a lot of flack, and he tries to please a lot of people.
And he does.
And believe me,
does a fantastic job, too.
He does a good job.
Yes.
And if you don't think he does a good job, try doing it.
Yeah.
Because he's got to accommodate, what do you have to accommodate, 30 teams?
Something like that.
Who all want to play at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, and all these teams that are teams of teams that are on different...
And teams that don't want to drive to a field. Yep. I heard that there were some complaints made about the finals being in Hackensack Field this year. Which
They're
to me
always
is
in
a joke.
Hackensack.
They're always in Hackensack.
They
wanted to go to Brookdale Park. So, come on, guys. You got a stadium to play in.
Yeah.
So you got to drive an extra 10 minutes for a championship game?
Right. Yeah, they're always, that should just be known. We're always going to, as long as we
grow
have
up
it.
a little bit, too.
Yeah.
You're playing in a men's league. Act like men. So from Mike McSee, well, I know I'm going to hear that.
Yes,
back.
you are.
From Mike McSee and Joey B, this Sunday, we're going to say it again. Try to get out.
Yeah, try and come out and watch these games, guys.
Two great finals. I know a lot of you people out there are not touch fans, but I'll tell you, watching these guys, it's like the lights go on and the cockroaches start running around
it
the
really is. This touch,
It's really quick.
we've seen this touch evolve a lot, man, from just kind of
Hey,
touch.
it's 6-on-6 without the flags.
Yeah, this is, and it's getting very physical. You see there's a lot more shoving, a lot more contact in this touch game, and touch is really, really stepping it
I'll
up.
tell you one thing I would love to see, and I'm sure a lot of the players out there, they would love to see contact chucking off the line of scrimmage in both the 6-on-6 flag and the 6-on-6
That would be
touch.
interesting.
I think it would add a little flair.
It would.
So, JT,
A little bit.
I'm throwing it in there now. So again, Mikey McSee, Joey B, we'll see you in the spring.
We sure will.
We'll see you in the spring. Good luck. Stay healthy. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. Anything else we can say? That wraps it up.
That wraps it.
See you soon, guys.